What's up everyone? So today basically I'm going through what I use for my video productions. So is that the right word? My video projects, I should say. So yeah, I'm going through my videography rig or cinema rig, if you'd like to call it that. What I use for my Blackmagic Pocket 6K, no, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. Yep, words, got that correct, sick. But yeah, that's what I'm going through today. That's what I use for that camera. I'm not going to try and repeat that again because that's a mouthful in itself. So yeah, I'm going to go through what I use to basically travel with and to use on big projects like short films and documentaries. So I'll be using shoulder rigs, tripod mounted rigs, and just nice handheld compact rigs. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's run the intro and I'm going to take you through everything after this intro. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we're going to start off with the first bit to the camera rig, and that is the camera cage itself from SmallRig. So this is the camera cage for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. Something I keep on my camera at all times with both photo and video. It's just something I like to do, as I've mentioned. So yeah, this is the cage they released very shortly after the release of the camera. I do believe they were one of the first companies to release a cage for that camera, but that didn't go into my decision making when I got this cage itself. I've always preferred SmallRig gear just to start off with. I especially like their new style that they're going with. They got different models coming out at the moment that adopt this new style that they've been putting out, and you can see here it's a lot more sort of, I guess you could call it like a molded body, like it's sort of made to fit a lot more ergonomically to the rest of the camera, and you've also got a nice wooden finish there as well. So that's, you know, design wise, that's something that I quite like. And yeah, so you've got your let's see if I can get that in focus. So you've got your top screw here, and then you've got two bottom screws there, which provide it with that extra bit of stability when it's inside the actual cage itself. You've also got a little holder there for a Samsung T5 SSD. It's not my favorite place to put it, but I can put it there if I need a compact rig. You can screw it up by a little Allen key at the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, and you've got your battery access here. So it's a nice, well-designed camera cage. You know, it's something that I'm going to be keeping on my camera at all times, obviously apart from this review. So yeah, without this, the camera rig wouldn't actually be a thing. So this is what stays on the camera at all times. Let's move on to the next bit, which would be the handles. So let me grab them for you. So the first handle that we're going with is this little one here. So this actually supports the Samsung T5 SSD that I use. It's just 500GB SSD. Yeah, this attaches via a NATO attachment on the side of the camera cage that I just showed you. You can either screw it on or you can slide it on, whatever way you prefer, and the actual hard drive goes in the middle there. There we go. So you have two ways of securing the hard drive itself, and that's via a screw on the top here. You can see there, nice easy screw, and you've also got a nice little switch that you can flick up there. It stops it from falling out basically. And yeah, again, you've got the nice new design, wooden grip to it. I like to theme my camera cages, as I've mentioned, and yeah, I really do like the design of this. It fits my hand nicely because I do have rather large hands. Yeah, that's my side handle that I keep on the camera most of the time. And now moving on to the top handle. Here we are. So this is a rotating top handle. Again, fits via a NATO attachment there that you can get a NATO rail to screw onto the top of the camera cage itself, but I use a different attachment, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, you've got your cold shoe mount here, so you can put your monitor, or I sometimes use like a wireless transmission system, video transmission system. And yeah, so this is a rotating handle whereby you can undo a Allen key inside here, and you can twist it round to whatever way you prefer. So yeah, one of the things I do quite like about SmallRig gear is that they include a magnetic Allen key in the side. Obviously I don't have it in there right now because I've been using it to disassemble the entire rig. I've got the magnetic attachment here, so you don't have to worry. Well, I mean, you should bring Allen keys with you on a shoot no matter what. If you do forget it, you've got one attached here, and you do have one attached, let me show you, it's one of the things I forgot to actually show you with the camera cage. That is again on the bottom here. There we go, let's get that in focus. You do have a attachment, where is it? I think it goes in across here and then in like that. And that is the Allen key attachment for the camera cage, which, yeah, it's a pretty neat little thing to have. I see it coming out in camera cages a lot more now, where they'll include Allen keys or tools that you might need on the job. Yeah, moving on, there's a couple smaller bits, and that would be the sun hood. So there we go. Let's bring that into the center. So obviously with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, they have increased the screen brightness, and they have also turned it into a tiltable screen. A sun hood wouldn't be your first go-to, but there are going to be the times where you will need one when it is just too bright to see, like the lights hitting your screen in a weird way and you can't see it. So yeah, I went with a sun hood. They've designed it so you can actually tilt the screen as you have it on the screen itself, so you can, it attaches via Velcro. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's a nice, neat little thing to have. Really nice finish to it, and yeah, they've really paid attention to the design quality of a lot of their products that I'm going to show you today. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I went with SmallRig in the first place. So let's move on to the next bit of the rig, which I think would be, let's move away from the camera body itself, and we're going to go to the lens. Okay, so we're going to move on to the mini follow focus from SmallRig, and this is a recent release of theirs that I've been following along with because I really wanted to get my hands on it, because it does have a neat little feature on the side here, and it is a hard stop function basically. So when you flick this bit back and forth and then twizzle these little screws here, so these will essentially allow you to stop in the exact place that you want it to when you're filming. So when it comes to like short films and bits and pieces like that, when you need to measure out the distance between you and subjects, or music videos maybe, yeah, this will allow you to like guarantee you not focusing too far and to have a clear indicator as to when you need to stop focusing. So yeah, that's a real neat little feature that I do like, and I didn't have on my follow focus before. I had some sort of off-brand follow focus that it did the job, but it's not quite as nice as this, and it doesn't have the same sort of finish as well as the hard stops. And it also comes with a nice little attachment where, if I just pop that back there for a sec, you can have it mounted on the top of your camera cage. So you can see here, let's get that in focus, that is a NATO rail. So you have two screws that are in here currently, and that screws into the top of the camera cage where you saw all those screws and where you can actually fix the camera in. And the top handle can slide in, the one I showed you earlier. Yeah, you've got a 15mm rod here that comes out, and that just goes straight into there. That goes there, and then you can adjust your follow focus onto your lens the way you need it and the way the rig is actually set up. And yeah, that is the mini follow focus from SmallRig. Yeah, let's move on to one other section of the lens, and that is the matte box. You can install 4x5.65 filters, I do believe, in the side, and you've got one panel that comes up. I'll just bring that up for you. There you go, and there is your panel or shutter, I guess you could call it, or bundles. Yeah, barn doors maybe. So this obviously attaches onto your lens via a screw. You have different adapters that come in the box. So I work with a 72mm screw on the end of my lens, which is the Sigma 18 to 35mm. That basically just goes straight on there, and you can detach it here. If I haven't done it up too tight, I've done it up too tight. There we go, that might fall out. No, there we go. So that comes out, easy to detach, and basically you can just pop a new one in there depending on what lens you use. So there's not much else to say about it, but other than it does its job very, very well. It's nice and lightweight. It's pretty compact as well. It's got a real nice carbon fiber finish to it that you'll see in some of the B-roll clips that I show. And you do also have a little screw here for a support that you can put onto your 15mm rods that you have sticking out of your rig. That is good that they provide that option, because if you do have a longer lens, you're going to want that support with a matte box, just so it's not like flying about everywhere. But yeah, it's a real nice build quality. It's a good solid bit of kit. I have used it a fair bit. I use my equipment well. I get my equipment's worth out of it, I guess. You get what I mean. I put my equipment to good use basically, and it gets a few knocks, and you can see on the actual hood itself there that it's been knocked around a bit. Yeah, that's basically the lens section, and now we're going to move on to a section, so that is going to be the base plate. So let me grab that. Okay, so moving on to the shoulder pad. This is the VCT14 Sony shoulder pad. Yes, Sony's in the name because it's meant for a Sony camera, like I guess a FX6 or FS7, FS5, you know, those sorts of cameras. But I did really want a shoulder pad that had a lot of padding to it, because I tend to hold the cameras on my shoots for quite a while, and anyone that has had that experience knows how painful it can be if you don't have the right sort of support there for you. So you can see here, you got nice bits of padding, 3 sections to it. I think it's memory foam. I would have to double check, but yeah, you've got your 15mm rod attachments on the back, you got 15mm rod attachments on the front, Arri rosette attachment on the side, and another Arri rosette attachment on the other side, obviously for your extension arms and handles, like I have. And yeah, you also have a plate here that you can just unscrew, slide off. Let's get that in camera. Slide off. There we go. And that obviously goes onto the bottom of your cage. So, and that just slides back on. You hear it click, and you can screw it back up. And that is that basically. So yeah, that is a shoulder pad I use, and I'll just show you the few other bits that basically complete the shoulder rig itself. So let's grab those for you. So small little bit, you got your 15mm 4-inch rods here. They go on the back of the shoulder plate, and these basically support the V-mount battery plate that I use, that I'll show you now. And this is the battery plate itself. So you got your V-mount there that it just slides onto quite nicely, and it has a nice locking mechanism that you then have to press to slide the battery back off again. And then you have the 15mm rod attachment here that will go onto the rods, obviously, and you have various options of attaching it. So you can have it on like that, you can have it on like that, and then you can even just screw some screws through there straight onto the camera cage itself. That's what I tend to do if I need a compact rig. Yeah, that is the battery plate. So what else? We will move on to the handles, which is pretty much the last section of this all. Okay, so yeah, moving on to a smaller bit of the handle section, which is the 15mm rod clamp with Arri rosette. So you got that there and there, pretty self-explanatory. And this is obviously the Arri rosette extension arm, which I was meant to get 2 of, but I was a bit stupid and only ordered 1. Yeah, this basically doubles up as a monitor attachment now, because there is a screw inside there, and I use a little screw to attach the monitor, which isn't the best purpose for it, but for now, until I can get another one of these, it works as that. But it should work as an extension arm for the handles, which I'll just grab. Here they are. These are the handles that I use for the shoulder rig, basically. And you've got your Arri rosette attachments. Let's get those in focus. There you go. These are probably one of my favorite parts to the rig in terms of design, because I just like the flowing shape that they have, and they got good rubber grips to them. So you can see they fit my hands pretty well. So I decided to go with the rubber grips, because I could have gone with wooden ones, but they tend to slip a little bit more when you're on a shoot for a long time and you're starting to lose grip maybe a little bit. Essentially, I found the rubber ones to be a lot more handy, and I had my eyes on these for quite a while. So yeah, that is essentially the complete rig run through, I guess you could call it. Bar a few little bits, which would be this one isn't actually meant for the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K Pro. That's a mouthful every single time. And it was meant for the 6K and the 4K because it fit those cages, but I went with it anyway, and it does its job pretty well. You do have to curve the leads a little bit, but it is a USB-C and HDMI adapter, so you can have extra access to your leads if you have a handle covering it like I do. So this allows you to get to the HDMI and USB-C ports a lot easier. Okay, right, so let's just run it through all very quick. So we have got the camera cage, we have got the side handle, there we go, and then the top handle, that's the one I use. And then we have got follow focus, there we are. Then it goes to the matte box, there we are, see it there, nice. And then sun hood, there we go, pretty easy bit of kit. Base plate, there we are, see that there. And then what else? Last little bits, we have got the battery plate there. Let's hold that up for you. Battery plate, and then the 15mm rod attachment with Arri rosette. Boom, done. Then the Arri rosette extension arm there, and then not last but not least, but almost last, we got the 15mm rods. Then we got the handles, there we are, and then last few little bits, and that is the follow focus gear and the HDMI USB-C adapter. So that is it essentially for the cinema rig or camera rig slash shoulder rig entire run through. Let's go back to me talking to camera. Essentially, that's just what I wanted to go through with you today, and I just wanted to run through everything with you so you know what I use. It's something that I'll be using in the future, so you know when I'm going handheld, that's what I'll be using. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone at SmallRig. Really do appreciate you sending across this gear for me to try out, so go check them out if you haven't already. And if you have a camera that is in need of a cage or some sort of rig to help you film and create the content that you want to create, definitely head to their pages and their socials so you can find out more about their products for what you need, essentially. So I'm going to round it up there. Look out for the Blackmagic review that is coming soon, and look out for when I'm using this rig in other videos. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and don't forget to explore some more, adventure further, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.